Hey everybody, welcome to Knife Knife. We are on our radish episode and I'm very excited to do this one because I have some really great tricks and tips today for this little vegetable right here that I think will be incredibly useful to you. We've got a delicious recipe. We're probably going to do radishes in a way that you're not really used to because it's not a very popular thing to do, which is cook them. These are a root vegetable. They grow in the ground. They are known for being a little spicy, kind of the way like mustard greens are spicy. Wonderful little vegetable to work with. One bunch of these can cost you anywhere from like 50 cents to like $1 at the store, so it's really cheap, and a whole bunch can literally be a meal for one person. So these things are great. Let's go get started. Obviously, we're going to need some radishes. And as you can see, these have already been removed from their leaves. So when you buy them in the store, they'll come in a bunch and the leaves are attached to them. So what I recommend doing, if you don't plan on using your radishes right away when you bring them home from the grocery store, is to cut the leaves off. So you'll end up with this little open bit and leave the root on, and then put it in a tub of water and they will last you a while. You don't have to worry about them going bad. So I've had these in the fridge for about 2 weeks now and they're still great. They haven't gone soft. They're still really like firm. They smell good. They smell like radishes. We're good to go. One thing I also recommend doing if you have them in the fridge for a while, I did change out the water about a week in just to freshen it up a bit. Recommend doing that as well, but otherwise it's really low maintenance. We're gonna want a lemon, some butter, salt, and some pepper. I'm going to be using fresh cracked black pepper today, but if you just have ground black pepper like this, that's totally fine. Use that. You'll just want to use a little bit more of it because once it's ground, the flavor tends to go a little stale. This is going to be a super easy thing to do today. We're just going to be prepping these radishes, so just cutting them up, putting them in a pan, sauteing them a bit with the butter, adding some lemon, salt, pepper, done. Really easy, but super delicious. So I'm gonna grab a towel. The radishes on there. Oop, he's gone forever. So I'm just gonna wrap those up and they dry off. The reason we want to make sure to dry them off is because the water will kind of act as a steamer when we put them in the pan, and it'll inhibit browning, or it'll make browning take a lot longer and then they'll cook too much. So you want to take off as much of that water as possible. Oh God. Okay. So I'm going to cut off the tip, and then I'm going to cut off the other tip. My best friend. Trash bowl. So one of these did get a little soft, but we're just going to cut it open and see how much it did. And that's fine. That'll happen. Usually it's because one of them was already kind of on its way out when I initially put it in. So then these, we're going to just cut into these little wedges. And I don't bother peeling them. I think the color gives it like a really nice look while it's on the plate, and the peel is edible. It's really thin, so you don't have to worry about it. It's not gonna change any texture. So basically what I do is I cut it in half, and then I'll cut 2 sections out of each half. Done. What I'm gonna do now is I'm only gonna use half of this lemon. So I just put all this on my cutting board, and then we'll head over to the stove. I'm gonna keep it on between medium and high initially. That way it just heats up a little quicker. Now that it's starting to be really hot to the touch, so I can't hold my hand down on it, I'm gonna turn the temp down. So just below medium. About a tablespoon of butter, and put that right in the pan, let it melt. And as you can see, it's bubbling a lot over here and sizzling over here. It's just kind of melting. So I'm going to move my pan so that I get more even heat distribution. And then we'll just toss these guys in the pan. And I'm going to keep my butter with me because I might use more in a bit. We'll see how this goes. And I'm going to make sure all of these are on their side, so not on the red side, because I want the white parts to get that nice golden Maillard browning. If you don't know how to use chopsticks, I highly recommend learning. So one of the things I'm not going to do right now is add salt to the radishes. I want them to start getting their browning first, and if I add salt right now, it'll start drawing a lot of water out of the vegetable, and it will get too watery outside in the pan, and it'll start to steam them, and I don't want that. I want them to crisp up. So I'm going to wait to put the salt on until the end after the browning has already occurred, as well as the lemon juice, because if I add the lemon juice now, same thing. It's going to be a lot of liquid in the pan. It's going to steam the vegetable, not crisp it up, fry it, saute it, those things, the things that we want. And just give it a little check, see how it's doing. They're not really browning yet, and I'm just kind of moving them towards the center, but I'm not moving them around a whole lot, because if you try to move around your vegetables while they're sauteing a lot, it's going to take longer for them to cook. So it feels good to be doing this and to constantly be moving it, but you're actually making this take longer for yourself. You'll start to see that the red skin on the radishes will begin to turn pink. That is okay, that's normal. See how it's doing? Nope, we still got some time. Ah, that's what we want. That's beautiful. And as you can see, these are starting to get more brown over here, so we're going to move our pan again. Just a little bit. Alright, so then I'll just give them a minute on this side, and after they've had that, we'll add the lemon juice and the salt and other stuff. Okay, so time for the lemon juice. Normally, I just cut my hand and squeeze the lemon juice through, but I have a cut on my finger, and I don't want to get lemon juice in it because that would friggin' suck. So, I'm going to use a strainer today. But generally you can just go like this and catch the seeds in your hands. Okay, and we are going to get some spray because we do have oil and water coming together. Now it's time to add the salt, and we're going to sprinkle high and sprinkle evenly over all the radishes, and then a little bit of pepper. I'm just going to do a bit now and I'll add more at the end. Now let's give these a toss around. In that lemon juice, wonderful crispness happening, beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off now, and then we'll take these over to plate. So obviously you don't have to use the chopsticks and do these one at a time. I just don't want to splatter oil all over the plate because I want to take some pictures. If you're at home, you can just scrape with a fork or whatever right into your plate or bowl or whatever you're eating these in. All right, so then I'm going to do black pepper one more time, and you can also add some lemon zest just for a little extra citrus kick, and give yourself a nice garnish. Treat yourself well. So good. What I love about radishes when they've been cooked versus raw is they get a much milder flavor, so you don't get that same sharp bitterness. They kind of are a little potato-like, just a little less starchy. And then, with just butter, salt, and lemon, like, how can you go wrong with that? It's so good. You can get all of them like a golden brown, but if you get a little bit of char on them, you get this, like, I don't know, sort of campfire sort of quality to it. Very interesting flavors. Very delicious flavors. And also, you can cook radishes. I always only ever see radishes raw or pickled. People always have them in salad bars and veggie trays, that kind of stuff. Well, you can cook them too. And they are super good. Enough watching me eat. Down below, I'm going to have my Instagram handle. Follow me on Instagram. show me any of the recipes that you end up cooking. I'd love to see what you're doing, if you're doing anything different, adding new ingredients, just ways that you've cooked these vegetables or fruits. I think that would be great to see. Also make sure to like and subscribe. Once we finish with this series, we're gonna be doing, you know, breads and meats and dairies and more fruits and vegetables, all the food groups essentially. But I'm gonna continue eating these and I'll see y'all later.